talking to a woman, and I said, "Would you like some pro-life literature, miss?" And she said, "No, thank you, I'm pro-choice." And as a 13-year-old girl with an attitude, I said, "Well, you need it all the more then." And I think that she was so shocked that this little girl was telling her that she took the pamphlet. When I was researching about what happens in the Windsor Regional Hospital, I found on their website how often and when they do abortions. And they do abortions up to 21 weeks or 24 weeks unless there's a genetic disorder or severe fetal abnormalities. Now, I'm not sure if any of you know what happens during an abortion at 24 weeks, but this is a diagram found in a medical textbook. And I'm going to read to you a testimony that a former abortionist, Dr. Tony Levantino, gave to the U.S. House Commissions when they were trying to rule on a fetal pain bill. "You introduce the instruments blindly and start pulling off limbs. You feel yourself grabbing and pulling hard, and I do mean hard. And out pops an arm, follow that by a leg. And then you tear out the intestine, the spine, heart, and lungs. The difficult part of the procedure is the head, which is about the size of a plum. You know you did it right if you crush down and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's head." Now, I know all of you are here because you know how terrible abortion is, but we always have to constantly remind ourselves that this is a type of procedure among many others that are done hundreds of times a day. When you hold a baby that was saved because of the activism that you did, or when you speak to people who completely change their mind because of what you have done, it makes it all worth it. The days of being passive are completely over. In Ontario alone, there's 51,000 abortions, which means $51 million that go towards abortions. If we took all that money and put it towards Sister Linda's house, or put it towards adoption, or put it towards actual child care, our country would be a much better place. A popular thing to be pro-life, no matter how old you are. And when you are out there facing the public like that, you are going to get yelled at. You're going to get the middle finger raised at you. You're going to get people who know you, who will judge you, whether you work with them or whether they're your family members or your friends, and that is the facts. But human rights in the past have never changed by people not standing up and facing that adversity. The measure of a man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and adversity. The 40 Days for Life starts right here. It starts with all of you, but it doesn't end after 40 days. We need to be constant, we need to be committed, and we need to do pro-life activism all year round, whether it be political or educational or pastoral. So every time that you do something pro-life, make a promise to yourself that you will ask at least 5 or 10 people that you know. The journey has been long and there are miles and miles to go, but from this convention the word is carried to every neighborhood, every house of worship, every congressional office, every precinct of this our beloved country. From this convention the word is carried that until every human being created in the image and likeness of God, no matter how small, how weak, or how old, is protected in law and cared for in life, we shall not weary, we shall not rest. And in this, the greatest human rights struggle of our time and of all time, we shall overcome.